Oke, kita mulai ya semua. Buat teman-teman mahasiswa yang belum menyalakan kameranya, silakan dinyalakan kameranya. Buat teman-teman mahasiswa yang tidak bergabung, saya akan share link YouTube ya, jadi bisa ditonton di YouTube. Boleh dimulai saja, MC.
Attention, ladies and gentlemen. Our webinar will begin shortly. Thank you for taking the time to join and prepare yourself for today's session. We truly appreciate your presence and hope you gain valuable insight throughout the event.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Greetings and salutations to each and every one of our esteemed visitors. We are honored to be gathered here today, and we extend our warmest regard and respect to everyone we see, regardless of their background or religious belief.
The honorable guest speaker, Dr. Nur Adila, senior lecturer at Mara University of Technology, with over 10 years of expertise in business management and management education, research supervision, program coordination, and also actively involved in advancing digital literacy and innovative teaching methods in higher education. Thank you for being here, Prof.
Our respected Professor Dr. Dedi Purwana IS Embus, Ms. Dewi Nurmalasari, SPD MM, Ms. Mayang Rianti, SICOM MICOM, and Mr. Ferry Setiadi Atmaja SOS MPA as our lecturer in Introduction to Management class.
Our respected moderator, Dian Rafatianisa, student of Office Administration Education Study Program at Faculty of Economics and Business.
The Honorable, the Committee, all lecturers of Office Administration Education Study Program, and last but not least, the Honorable, all participants of this honorary event. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to
Function of Management. I'm Raishadina Jolis Katala.
And I'm Ahmad Nopal Fadil Makran.
And we are the Master of Ceremony on today's event. First and foremost, we want to express our sincere thankfulness to God for allowing us to attend this event in a healthy and stable state.
Secondly, let's greet and offer prayers to our beloved Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, who has guided us from darkness to light in this life.
Before we begin, I'd like to outline the agenda for today's session before we get started. First one is opening, second is speech by lecturer, third is the main agenda, fourth is question and answer, and lastly is closing.
For the first item is opening. Let's open our event by saying Basmalah together. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Now, we will move on to the next agenda. Please allow me to invite our lecturer in management course, Ms. Dewi Nurmalasari, is PDMM, to deliver the opening remarks. Ms. Dewi, the stage is yours.
Well, thank you very much. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, everyone. The Honorable, our guest speaker today, Dr. Nur Adila binti Abdul Rauf from University Teknologi Mara, Malaysia. Our respected college and lecturers, our beloved student from Faculty Economy and Business at University of Jakarta. It is an honor for me to welcome all of you in this event, the International Guest Lectures held under the Management Class 2025. Our topic today is talk about the management. All of us know that the function of management can be used not only for today, but also to guiding for a leader or a manager to guide the company rhythm. The function of the management consists of planning, organizing, actuating, and controlling. The essential skills for achieving organizational activeness and the dynamic of the competition environment. We are grateful today for having Dr. Nur Adila, who will share the valuable insight and international perspective, of course, about the management. I hope all of you also can express and engage in this activity actively. And I would like also to express my sincere appreciation to the organizing team, especially our management class lecturers, the Honorable Mr. Professor Dedi Purwana ES Embus, Mr. Ferry Setiadi, the most handsome man today, and Mrs. Maya Grianti, the most beautiful woman today. And for our presenter today, moderator, and all the team of Office Administration 2025. And to all the participants, our beloved students, I encourage you to be active and giving a question as much as possible. Share your touch and strengthen our academic foundation in this field of the management. Once again, welcome, International Guest Lecturers, Management Class 2025. May today bring us knowledge and meaningful inspiration to all. Thank you very much. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Well, thank you for Miss Dewi Nurmalasari SPDMM for your warm welcome.
The primary agenda for today's meeting will then be presented by Dr. Nur Adila. Our special guest speaker will share insightful information about function of management. And now we are on the main agenda for today's session.
Now, allow me to invite the moderator of this session, Diandra Fatianisa. And here's the CV of our moderator for today's event. Diandra is currently a student of Office Administration. Diandra is currently a student of Office Administration Education at the Faculty of Economics and Business at State University of Jakarta. Known for her passion for organizational work, Diandra possesses excellent qualities such as strong communication, teamwork, responsibility, and good time management. Without further ado, let's begin the event.
Please give a warm welcome to Diandra Fatianisa.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Shadin and Mr. Ahmad for the great opening session. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to today's session on function of management. My name is Diandra Fatanisa, and I'm truly honored to be your moderator for this session. We are privileged to have with us a distinguished speaker who will shed light on various aspects of function of management in the real world. So, without further ado, let me introduce our esteemed speaker. For operator, could you help us share the speaker's CV on the screen? Okay, let me formally introduce our speaker. Dr. Nur Adila binti Abdul Raub holds a PhD in Management from University of Cyberjaya, Malaysia, 2023, and has a strong academic background including an MBA and bachelor degree in International Business Management from University of Technology Mara. Dr. Nur Adila has over 10 years of teaching experience in higher education and is currently serving as senior lecturer at University Teknologi Mara, Malaysia since September 2024. Her expertise includes international business, business management, finance, and economics, with extensive experience in curriculum development, student supervision, and implementing blended learning approaches. She has held various academic roles such as academic advisor, question setter for examination, and external examiner for PhD proposals. Dr. Nur Adila has contributed significantly to community development and educational program coordination, including developing new academic programs and facilitating the collaboration between universities. Her professional skills include digital literacy, effective communication, time management, and academic leadership demonstrated through her role as head of quality at the Faculty of Business and Technology at University of Cyberjaya. She has received multiple awards and scholarships, including from Majelis Aman Harakat Mara and Migrant 15 Malaysia, recognizing her academic excellence and teaching contributions. And that's all for the introduction of our speaker. And now let's give a very warm welcome to our speaker. Good afternoon, Prof. Adila. It is a pleasure to have you with us today. How are you, Prof. Adila?
Thank you so much. Assalamualaikum and very good afternoon. Can you hear my voice clearly? Can you hear my voice? Bisa dengar
Okay,
nggak?
Prof. Adila?
Hello?
Okay.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Okay, I'm so sorry for the in How are you, Prof. Adila?
Hear me? My voice is not coming out.
Sorry, Prof. Adila. I think the sound, the audio is.
Can you hear me? Hello? Can you hear me? What about now?
Okay, I can hear right.
Hear me? Hello? 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 Hello?
Hi, Prof. Adila.
Can you
Okay.
hear me? What about now? Can you
Okay, Prof. Adila. So, are you ready to begin your presentation?
hear me? Can you hear my voice?
Yes, I can hear your voice right now.
Okay. Alright, I thought you start already. Alright, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum and a very good afternoon. Thanks to Ms. Tian Cha, and also to all students. And not to forget, I would like to say very grateful, especially to Mrs. Dewi Durmalasari from Office Administration Education, Docent Professor Dr. Debbie Purwana, Docent Terry, and also Mrs. Mayang Rianti for arranging today's seminar or webinar. Now, can I get a confirmation right whether you can hear my voice? If you can hear me, please do tell me yes. If you can hear me, put the thumbs up. Cannot hear? Oh, kamu bisa dengar. Bisa dengar suara saya bukan? Tidak bisa.
Yes, right now I can hear your voice.
Okay. Was my voice breaking just now? Hello? Can I? I'm assuming yes. Right. Okay, hold on. Let me share my screen. I am quite nervous seeing that the faces from our students here, not sure whether they could actually hear me or not. So that's why I keep on asking the same questions over and over again. Okay, so are we good to go? Shall we start? Can I? Can, okay. All right. So hold on, let me share my screen. Let me know if my voice uh, is when the thing please you can stop me. All right. Ahmad Naufal, please help me. Okay. What's going on? You guys,
Coba jujur aja, biar enak.
so
I'm sorry, Miss. Your voice is so small.
oh, okay. What about now? Still same? Same.
Okay, what about now? Is it better? Better. All right. Okay. So I'm so sorry. I was using my earpod just now. Okay, let me quickly put this back. Okay, give me 2 seconds. All right, then. Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. So let's start. I'm so sorry for the delay. Okay. Now, my presence today is to give you not really comprehensive, but hopefully it's still helping you to understand better about the functions of management. Myself is Dr. Noradila binti Abdul and I'm from University of Technology, Mara, Malaysia. Okay, so let's do a quick pop quiz. Before that, as you can see here, there are many professions. We have policeman, we have teacher, we have the artist, we have a businessman, we have cook, and so on. Now you tell me, from all these images, which one do you think we see as a manager? Okay, can someone tell me? Oh, by the way, there is a slight issue here, but I think please do not get distracted with whatever environments at the back, yeah?
Okay, now we go back here. Now you tell me from all these images, which one do you think that's called that can be called as a manager? Any idea? Or you want to say all the professions can also be considered as a manager? Yeah, if your answer is that, then it is correct. It's because of for a manager, there is no specific positions that they are attached with. So every kind of professions definitely require a manager. A manager is someone who takes leads. Okay, so do not just um feel like manager can only be found in the company organizational setting or org chart. Okay, it can be anywhere, regardless of types of professions. All right. So, well, before you could understand the process of the function in the management, you have to at first you must understand what is the definitions. Henry Farrell and also Stanley Bansi, according to this guy, Harry Farrell, he defined that management is something like to manage, uh, is to forecast, okay, meaning that we predict, and through that predictions, we must come up with plan, okay? So at the same time, in the management, we have to organize, we need to give an instruction, give the command, okay, coordinate the plans, and to take control just in case the outcome keep on deviating. Okay, so this is Henry Farrell. But management, according to Stanley Bansi, management is simple, where it's process of decision making and control over the actions of human beings for the express purpose of attaining predetermined goals. Now, the the formal study of management, they began back in 20th century, where Henry Farrell has introduced much earlier. But after some time, the process or the functions of management has been evolved. Okay, where it started with only 4 functions, now becoming 5 and so on. Okay, so that's why when you refer to the certain resources, they may give a different or the extensions of what is the management is. Okay, now functions of management. For functions of management, there are 5 core functions or the rules in the management. First, we start with the plan, organizing, staffing, directing, and also controlling, right? So for planning, it is something like for the manager, the very first stage is they have to come up with plan. So this plan encompasses of few things like pre-planning about, let's say we talk about this business function, all right, or the business setting. Before you want to conduct a project, you must have a plan. So that kind of plan, let's say what exactly you want to achieve the goal. If you start conducting the work, what is the outcome that you want to achieve? So that set the goals first. Okay. And apart from that, another example, if you want to set up a new business for the new entrepreneur, you must have the vision. Okay, so that is vision, and that's come up with the missions. Okay, missions is the way of how you can attain the vision just now. So all this we call it as planning, all right? Like how you want to achieve. Okay, when do you want to achieve? What do you want to achieve? Okay, there are 3 core questions. What do you want to achieve? Can be measured through the goals that you want to get. Okay, how do you want to achieve? Based on the ways, whether you may at that stage itself, you have already identified what is the resources needed. Okay, resources in terms of the capital resources, human resources, what else? The equipments and so on. Okay, how you want it? How do you want to achieve it? Okay, and when do you want to achieve it? So we put the timeline. When is the thing need to be concluded? Okay, so that everyone who participated in this execution of works, they get to know by what or by when they have to complete their work. All right, so that is planning. Now, so this is what I mean just now. You have to decide in advance lah, what do you want to achieve, how, when, and who's going to do it, right? So for case of manager, you are someone who is holding a position. So definitely you're gonna have few workers working under you, or we call it as subordinates. So from there, you can identify amongst of all your workers who can do what work based on their skills and capabilities, right? Okay. So in the planning itself, we can also see what exactly the gaps that we are currently facing and what or where we want to reach. Okay? So because we want to minimize the gap, so to minimize it, we have to have a plan. Okay, a plan at the early stage. All right. In the case of company, this planning usually involving the goals, right? Maybe the goals of the project, the goals in terms of the vision of company, and so on. Okay, now I give you a simple example. This can also be applied to students as well, right? So let's say, for the planning stage, I understand that most of the lecturers usually they give set of assignment questions at the beginning of the week, at the first week, right? So what you normally need to do from your assignment is you to work in a group. It's like a group assignment thing. So from the group assignment, it consists of few friends, right? All maybe 5 to 6 students. And most of the time, you will assign one of friend to become the group leader. So this group leader will be doing the same role like what the manager is doing in the company. Okay, same. For group leader of the group assignment, in the planning stage, you must know what need to be done. Okay, like the assignment. What is the assignment is all about? How you gonna do the assignment? When you need to complete the assignment, and amongst of all these 5 friends, you will delegate the work. Okay, Ananda do part A, maybe Diandra do part B, and so on. Joshua do part C, and so on. So who is delegating the work? It is the leader, group leader. Now, for a company or the business setting or the organization setting, who will delegate the work? It will be the manager, right? So that's why it says that planning is a very basic function in the management, because before you could control the outcome or you could delegate the work and so on, planning must be the prior things need to be decided. Okay. Next is the organizing. Now, what about the organizing? So organizing is where after you have identified who will do what work, so it is a kind of process. We have to bring all these together and work together in order to achieve the goal just now. Okay. So the process of bringing the resources is not only about human resources or the skills resources, but also the financial. For case of a company, they may need additional financial capital and so on. So they have to think of how or what ways they can generate the finance in order to financing the work. Okay. And apart from that is, are there any physical resources needed uh, to complement the works? Okay, so for example, you ask your worker uh, to complete, let's say for example, to prepare the business report. Okay, you are the manager, you ask your staff to prepare a business report within 1 week. Okay, so that's instruction. So the physical resource needed by your staff must be addressed. So we know that for them to prepare the business report, they need a proper laptop or maybe the computer, and as they need to have a stable internet connection, they need to have a printer, they need to have the A4 papers and so on. So all these resources are categorized as physical resources. Okay, so meaning to say, for any kind of works that you're asking your workers to do, you must supply them with the proper resources, physical resources just now. Okay. Okay. So apart from that, according to Henry Fayol, to ensure that everything is functioning, the manager must supply useful resources such as raw materials, tools, capitals, and personnel. Okay? So for personnel, we are focusing on their right skills. Okay, so same with you. So if you've been given an assignment, you must identify what kind of skill that your friends are currently possess. Okay, let's say they are very good with the data, maybe you can focus them to do the data, and another friend maybe they are good in presentation, so you can ask them to do the presentation on behalf of friends and so on. So why we are delegating according to their skills is because of we want to expedite the process. Okay, and when you doing such way, the person who get to do the work, they will get motivated, they can work faster, things will get things smoother. Okay. Okay. In the work setting, for a business, under the organizing, not to forget, you have to identify how many departments or what are the types of department needed. If for a small business or startup company, usually one department will do multiple of jobs or works. Okay, so it is fine as long as you are not tiring your workers. Right? And second, how many posts or designation are needed in each department? So let's say you have like I said, we have a startup business, a very small business. So maybe you only have few departments at the moment. You have HR, but this HR maybe they are also doing for payrolls. Yeah, doing payroll. That is for their post and resignation, and also maybe they get involved with the what meaning that they are doing multiple works at one time, because for a big organization, usually they will separate the tasks. Like payroll will be done by accounting department or finance department maybe. Okay, by HR they only do staffing, hiring and so on. Okay, but for case of a small business, maybe you need to have a very minimal number of departments with multiple of works need to be done by a single person. Okay, so for a company, once they have decided how many departments and how many persons need to be hired, so they are the organization structure is almost ready to run the business. Okay. So organizing involved is identification of activities. All right. At the planning just now, we have identified what needs to be done, how needs to be done, and so on. So here in the planning itself, so kind of ways to conduct the work. Okay. Second, classification or grouping of activities. If you think that some of few persons can do a similar work, maybe you can put them together to work in a group. Okay, you assign the duties, you tell them what needs to be done, okay, according to their role. Delegation of authority and creation of responsibility. Now, to make a project or work be successful, you as a manager, you have to delegate the power. Okay, make them or make these people feel responsible towards their work. Okay, if you are so much of doing micromanage, the people who are working with you, they will becoming stressful. Okay, because everything that they do will be monitored. So it is not really ideal. Okay, so coordinating authority and responsibility relationship. Okay, so as a manager, will be part of your responsibility to make sure that everyone can work peacefully amongst them. Okay, so this is under organizing. Now let's move on. We have the staffing. Now, what is staffing? Staffing is where, all right, at the early stage just now in the planning, since you have identified who will conduct the work, all right, if in the event your current worker is not sufficient, or maybe there is certain set of skills required, but then your current staff not be able to to deliver it. So that's when it will give you an alarm to start hiring. Okay, find a new staff, do the recruiting. Okay, so do recruiting by put an announcement and tell public that, hey, we are currently hiring, for example. Okay, so if any applicants coming applying to work, so you can do the selecting. Okay, selecting is by calling them for the interview session, right? So for interview session, sometimes some company they will have few levels of interview depending how big of the company is. But in Malaysia, the common levels that we are practicing is up to 2 levels. Okay, so from there, if you manage to go until the last level, so it will be high possibility you will get the job. Okay, and next is appointing the employee. Right? If you have selected, appoint them. Okay, bring them on board. Once they have been employed with you, assign them duties. The duties that where you found that it was not being accommodated by any of your past or your current staff that last time. So give them the right duties, maintain the relationship, and taking care of grievance of employees. Okay, taking care of grievance of employees, meaning that if any of your employees feeling frustrated, they have any issues, challenges, and so on, as a manager, you need to listen to them. Okay, conduct a democratic style of leadership. Okay, so do not simply just give them instructions and close your eyes and not get, and you don't want to, maybe you don't want to listen any comments, you don't want to listen their ideas and so on. Do not do such way. Remember, if you behaving like that as an employer or maybe as a boss, if you doing such way, people will run away from you. They will work for you at a very short period. Okay, because after all, to motivate your employee, you must make sure that they are always feeling motivated. Okay, so listen to them. The keyword is listen to them, right? Now, if any of your workers needs additional training or workshop or developments and so on, give it to them. All right. Just to share with you, here in Malaysia, for any businesses that having a right number of employees, if I'm not mistaken, at a minimum of 500 employees. So if that itself showcasing that you are literally big company. Okay, so what you need to do is you have to send your people for training. Like in Malaysia, all the employees or the workers, we have to make at least 40 hours of training in a year. Okay, so you can get any training outside or even in-house and so on. All right. So it is a compulsory for certain employer. And after that is through the staffing also, you must decide how much remuneration can be given to them. Okay, so it is pretty normal. All the human being sometimes or most of the time we are motivated with the remuneration. Okay, if the employer properly compensate their employee, I believe the employee will become a loyal person. Okay, give them a promotion, give them the credit, give them an increment when it's come to due. Okay, so yep, and also evaluating their performance. All right, so in my past organizations, we need or the bosses need to evaluate the staff's performance every quarter. Okay, sorry, not quarter, semi-annual. So every 6 months, we have to submit. The employee have to insert whatever achievement that you have made or contribution you have made, and you send to the boss, and boss will evaluate it. So before they come out or before they decided how many percent of your KPI, they will call you for the discussion. Okay. So from there, if you have such discussion, at least you can listen to your boss what exactly their expectation. Okay, what are things that you are still lacking as an employee. Meanwhile, from the boss's shoes, okay, if you are the boss, you can listen to your employee what are the things that needed by them, which at the past time you did not accommodate it. Okay, so for example, your staff told you that they are lacking in this Power BI skill. So as a boss or as a manager, you must take note about it, and you must in the future you have to give them the requested training. Okay, so all right. Moving on, staffing involves manpower planning, where we are deciding how many of workers needed. Okay, we estimate how many persons that we need to conduct the work. We do the recruitment, we send them for training, we give them remunerations, okay. We do the performance appraisal, okay, promotions. Okay, promotions is when it comes to Jula. Let's say, for example, last time you assigned as a executive. Because of promotion, you are now becoming the senior executive. Okay, and slowly after you are climbing the ladder. Okay, and transfer if necessary. Now, for case of staffing, most of the time, this role or function being done by human resource department. Okay. Now, directing. So for directing is you giving the right direction or instruction to employees to get the job done. Okay, so as someone who receive the instructions, okay, let's say we assume that you receive an instruction from your boss to do this work, which is fine, you can do it. But if the instruction keep on changing, how do you think your employee would feel? Okay, so I would say that definitely you will be so frustrated, you will feel overwhelmed because of whatever things that you had done now will need to be changed. Okay, so as a boss or as a manager, you must give a clear directions, and that direction or instruction cannot be changed frequently. Okay, leadership qualities are required. Motivating employees by providing monetary or non-monetary incentive, communicating with them at regular intervals. Now, to make sure or to confirm that your workers are doing as per what you instructed, so you need to keep on checking with them. Okay, ask them the updates. For example, hey, what's going on? Now you are already at what stage and so on. Okay, so that is directive. All right. Okay. Now, when we sending a directions, not only or merely give an instruction, sometimes it related with how you can influence your employee, how you can guide them, how you can supervise them on motivating them as well in order to achieve the company's goal. Okay, so that's why the key word here is do the communication, communicate with them in a interval manner. Okay, if possible, how frequent is needed? It can be regular lah, depending on how close you are with your employee after all. Okay, now supervision, motivation, leadership, communication. So supervision is you are overseeing their work. Okay, ask them to send the update. Motivation is by inspiring them. Give them encouragement of words. Okay, so the word, positive words and so on, or sometimes you can give a monetary form of motivations. Okay, maybe you give them the bonus. Okay, for example. Okay, so next is leadership. If the employee, they are very impressed with the boss leadership, so they will listen more. Okay, they will pay respect, they will listen to you more, and they will work harder. But if your employee doesn't like you, they very dislikes you, okay, they will keep on delaying the work. So things will not getting efficient lah. So sometimes things will get delays and so on. So communication is the process of passing informations, okay, the experience, the opinion from one person to another. So the way you communicate is also important, right? Like I said, when you are communicating things, please do not change the instruction, okay, too much. Okay, so today you say different, next day you say different, next week you say other things different. Okay, so controlling. So what is controlling? Matching actual performance with the planned goal. Okay, you plan that in the next 5 months, the department must achieve 50% of sales, additional sales, for example. So that is your plan and that is your goal. Now, after the 5 months, today, you have to compare what is the results. Okay, what is the sales results after the 5 months with our initial goal. Okay, so see, are they different? If you see that too much of gap, you aim for 50%, but you only attain 10%. So it is a problem. Okay, meaning that what are the reasons not avoiding you from achieving the 50%? Why only 10%? So try to find the reasons. Okay, what are the factors causing the deviation? What makes you do incorrectly? So if you have identified the possible reasons, that's when you can come up with the corrective actions. Okay, in this corrective action, you can implement it in the future. If you are planning to focus the same goal again in the near future, you can adopt the suggestion to the future plan. All right. Okay. So controlling has the following steps. Number 1, establish first the standard performance. You do the measure. Okay. Compare from actual with the target. Okay. Measure and compare and conduct the corrective actions. All right, so yeah, so we have finished. So things that I explained today is the functions, the 5 functions of management. So I return back the floor to the moderator, Diandra.
Okay, thank you so much, Prof. Adila, for that enlightening and comprehensive presentation. Your expertise on function of management has provided us with a valuable knowledge and practical strategies. And now, finally, we will open the floor for a question from our audience. If you have a question, you can raise your hand on and unmute yourself, or you can simply type it into the chat box below. Okay, for Fitra Dwi Pratama, we now give the floor to you to deliver your question.
Thank you for opportunity. I want to ask about my major is education office administration, but I have the question, how can the planning function help and office administration department prevent operational delay, especially in document management and scheduling? Thank you.
Okay, thank you
So
for the
sorry.
question.
I can't hear it. Can you
Prof. Adila, would you prefer answer this question now, or shall we collect a few more first?
okay. Diandra, I need your help. Whenever students asking me questions, do you mind to ask them to put in the writing as well? Because sometimes I cannot capture or understand properly the language.
Okay. Thank you, Prof. Adila. For Fitra Dwi Pratama, you can chat the question in the chat box below.
Okay. Alright.
Okay. I think for everyone who wanna ask to Prof. Adila, you can type your question too in the chat box below. Thank you.
Okay, all right. I can see that one question is in the chat box coming from Dwi Pratama from class A. Hi, Dwi Pratama. Thank you for your questions. Now, let me read first. You're asking me, how can the planning function help an office administration department prevent operational delays, especially in document management and scheduling? Okay, so you're asking the very first stage, right? Okay. So, as I mentioned just now, planning, at the planning stage, it could help you to prevent delays because of it will making sure that all work is organized before any problems occur. Why I said so is because of at the planning stage itself, we have already decided what need to be done, how need to be done, who need to be done, and when need to be done, isn't it? So from that concept itself, hopefully it can reduce or reduce or remove the problems. Now, to answer you, in from the perspective of document management and also scheduling. Okay, in document management, I understand that you must have a proper documentations, right? Meaning that you need to have a creating, storing, and so on. So if that's the case, if things has been pre-planned before that, it will gives you a clear steps on what are the documents need to be created, where you can store it, and where to find the created documents. After all, it will help you to organize. Okay, in terms of if the staff requires any document, they will not wasting their time to search. Okay. Meanwhile, in terms of scheduling, if you have a planning, all right, it can avoid you to make sure that all your tasks can be done ahead of time. And also, it will gives you or ensuring you that resources and people need to be available when needed. Okay, because of planning, after all, it will keep all the tasks organized. It can reduce confusion, and hopefully everything can run smoothly lah. So that's why it can prevent the operational delays. So that's my answer to Dwi Pratama.
Thank you so much.
Welcome, Dwi Pratama.
Okay, thank you so much, Prof. Adila, for the answer. And next, there's a question from Felicia and Gina and Marfarida. Please type it the question on chat box below, and I'll read it for Prof. Nur Adila. Okay, I see one question for Marfarida. She said, I would like to present my friend who joined the YouTube stream, namely Florian Alzena from VIP A class. The question is, what are the most common challenge that manager face when managing resources, and how can they overcome them? Prof. Adila, would you like to
Yes.
answer?
Second questions coming from Marfarida Lifa. Okay, the questions asking what are the most common challenges that managers face when managing resources and how they can overcome them. All right, so I think you may refer this as human resources. If yes, then my explanation will be tailored to this human resources, yeah. So, for example, it's true. In real scenario context, managers face challenges that include staffing, for example. So because of that, it will be difficult for the business or the company to meet all the operational needs. So what they need to do is, or how they can overcome is by prioritizing the important tasks and planning ahead to prevent the shortages. Okay, so for example, since we have a very minimal number of staff, let's say you have about only 10, okay, and we very clearly knows that it's not enough. So what you need to do is, it's fine, we have to still maintaining this five, but we have to you fully utilize them, okay? Because if you misallocate your staff, it can create problem when, especially when your employees being assigned to tasks that they are not good at. Okay. So in order for you to solve this is, with that only 10 staff, you must understand first what are their strengths. Okay, if any of the lacking, offer them a relevant training. Okay, and if you have any work need to do, give the task or work to the right people. All right. So, so this is one thing. If the company facing a challenge to manage the limitation in terms of number of staff. I think apart from that is what else? If you talk about the challenge in terms of minimal number of resources in terms of the capital, for instance, okay, capital or equipment. So as a manager, you must find ways on how we can acquire such resources just now. Okay, maybe the physical resources. I mentioned to you earlier that in order to offer a conducive environment at workplace, we must give them the right equipments, right? You must give them a table, a chair, a computer to do the work and so on. Now, if this is a very basic stuff, but for the additional additional resources that you feel could enhance the work, yes, you can consider it. Now, as a manager, your task is to think of ways how we can get the financing in order for us to buy such necessary equipments, for instance. Okay, so hopefully I have answered friends named Florian Alzena. Okay, what else? Which stage of
Okay.
processes?
Okay.
Where is it?
Okay. Thank you, Mrs. Adila, for the questions. That's enough.
Okay. There's a next question for Prof. Adila. I will read it first. Ms. Nur Adila, in your opinion, which stage of staffing process tends to be most challenging for manager between recruitment, employee training and development, or performance evaluation? Could you also explain to us what specific factors make that stage more complex, especially when dealing with diverse employee needs and organization goals?
Okay.
Prof. Adila, the stage is yours.
All right, so this is coming from friends named Gina. Okay, so Gina, which stage of staffing process is all right, so this is solely based on my opinion, yeah. Since I've been working for nearly how many years? More than 10 years. So what I see so far is amongst of the staffing process, the most challenging would be training lah. Okay, training and development. Because of it is very complex. Okay, training and development, we must give not to only new employee, but also the existing employee. Okay, for example, you have new employee who just joined the company 2 months ago. And also you have another employee who have worked 10 more years with you. Okay, so therefore it can become complex because you need to meet all everyone's needs. Okay, their learning styles, their skill levels. Okay, you must identify, and this takes time. It's very time consuming. And also you must make sure that the training that you're giving to them is aligned to the organizational goals. All right. So your task as a manager is make sure that the programs or the training that you give to them must work for both of these two categories, be it new staff or old staff. Okay. And remember just now I mentioned here in Malaysia, we are given 40 hours of training. Now, the question here is that how can we make that our employee, everyone attending the 40 hours of training in a year, and how can we confirm that all this training, let's say if we open one slot of training and we are asking a new staff and old staff joining, but how can you confirm that this would be beneficial to old staff as well? Because it may only necessary for new staff. And remember, every training that you give to them will cost a money to the company. Okay, so that's why asking them to attend the training, and before that you have to identify their skills and so on, it is a bit challenge lah from the perspective of the company, okay, or the manager. All right, thank you to Gina Citra Lestari.
Thank you, Mr. Nur Adila, for your answer and explanation. Thank you.
Okay. There's a more question. I will read it first. From Felicia Habiba for PAP A class. In the context of globalization and rapid change in job competence, how can organizations ensure that staffing processes from recruitment and placement to training and performance evolution not only meet short-term needs but also predict and sustainable prepare for long-term talent needs, especially when future competency data is often uncertain? For Prof. Adila, the stage is yours.
Okay, thank you. Wait, let me understand the questions first. Okay, in the context. Okay, so this is coming from, who is it? Felicia. Thank you, Felicia Afifa, for your questions. You are asking, how can we make sure that the recruitment and placement not only for short term but also for the long term talent needs. All right, this is excellent questions. Okay. For a business owner or the manager, you must not be so rigid with your requirement as of now. Okay, so meaning during the staffing process, it must be more future focused. Okay, I would say future focused and flexible. Okay, so let's say in the recruitment stage, the company should look for candidates with strong learning ability. Okay, strong learning ability meaning that they are fast learner. They are not, I mean, yes, they good with right skills at this stage, but do they considered as a fast learner just in case if there is any change needed? Okay, so because market trends keep on changing, so company must be agile. So the company, not only a company, but all the workers, they have to be fast learner. Okay, so we must identify whether they have a strong learning ability or not. Okay, in terms of training, company, they can invest in upskilling and also reskilling of maybe workshop, so that your employee can grow whenever the job requirements change, they can still growing. Okay. And also, what else are questions? Performance evaluation. Okay, for performance evaluations, you focus on potential. Okay, and the readiness for new roles. I think will help to align employees with the needs. So, to say or to put this simply, a manager must combine adaptable hiring, meaning that the hiring process must be future focused. Okay, must be flexible. Okay. Next is send your employee for continuous learning skill. Okay, give them future orientation evaluations so that your workforce, okay, will becoming more prepared for long-term challenge, okay, facing by the company. All right. So I think I have answered from Felicia.
Okay, thank you for your answer. Okay, thank you so much, Prof. Adila, for the answer. And I think it will be the last question from Vidya Aulia Pratiwi. Hi, Prof. Adila. I want to ask you something. If in a case that says a company has been experiencing production delay for several months and the preliminary cause is suspected to be ineffective coordination among division, such as purchasing our production from that cause, how can the manager apply the planning function to prevent recurring production delays? And for Prof. Adila, the stage is yours.
Okay. All right. From Vidya and Aurelius from class C. Okay, thank you. So you're asking about in a course that says a company has been experiencing production delays. Okay. How can a manager apply the planning function to prevent recurring production delays? All right. Okay, thank you. So, during the planning function, for a manager to prevent any recurring production delays, first step they can do is analyzing the workflow. Okay, and for the manager, they have to understand what are the processes involved, and also identify the divisions, formations between divisions need to be breaking down. Okay, so if the manager has understand this, that's when the manager can have or create a detailed plan. And in this plan, will include clear schedules, what are the responsibilities of every worker, okay, and the timelines are given for every division. Okay, so for example, Department of Purchasing, Production, what else? Acquiring assets, that's called inventory management. Okay, so all these, you put them a timeline, how long they need to conduct the process. So the plan, like I said, must include the deadline. Okay, deadline for ordering materials, monitoring stock levels, what is the what is the minimum number from your stores that can be considered as indicators where you need to start purchasing more. Okay, so you must have that kind of standards. And additionally, as a manager, you must anticipate that there would be a contingency measures in place. Okay, let's say, for example, suppliers suddenly they change their price and so on. So you must have a backup supplier. Okay, and flexible production schedules also needed in case there is a rise of demand. So you must have a production schedule where they can work at overtime, for example. Okay, so Therefore, for manager, what they need to do is they have to organize the task in advance so that they have a clear communication procedure and a planning in order to help all this department or division to reduce the delays from recurring or prevent the delays from recurring. Okay, so that's my answer for Vidya and Aurelia.
Okay, thank you, Prof. Adila, and thank you for everyone for your engaging question. As we drew this session to a close, allow me to provide a brief summary of the key points we covered today. Our speaker, Prof. Adila, delivered an in-depth presentation on definition of management. Henry Fayol said, to manage is to forecast and plan, to organize and to comment, to coordinate and to control. And Prof. Adila told us about function of management. There's a planning, staffing, controlling, organizing, and directing. And about planning, Prof. Adila told us about deciding in advance, like what to do, how to do, when to do, and who is going to do it. And organizing, Prof. Adila told us that it is the process of bringing together physical, financial, and human resources and developing productive relationships amongst them for achievement of the organization goals. And last is staffing. Prof. Adila told us about finding, selecting, appointing the employee, assigning duties, maintaining coordination, relationship, and taking care of grievances of employee. And I think that's all from me. Before that, Prof. Adila, we appreciate you to be our speaker today. So we have a certificate for our best speaker. We're gonna do some documentation. Okay. So the committee, please assist with the documentation. Okay. The documentation will be taken in 3, 2, 1. All right. Thank you so much, Prof. Adila, for today. Okay, before that, there's a little speech. We will wait for someone.
Okay, are we done? Can I take a leave? All right. So thank you so
Yes,
much.
Prof. Adila. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye, everyone. Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam, Prof. Adila. Okay, and finally, I would like to extend my deepest gratitude to our exceptional speaker, Prof. Adila, for so generously sharing your expertise and invaluable insight with us today. And of course, thank you to all the participants for your active engagement and excellent question. We hope this session will have a spark with new perspective and courage to you embrace unexpected opportunities and in your professional journey. So I think that's all from me. Thank you so much. And now I will hand the floor back to our Master of Ceremony, Ms. Shadin and Mr. Ahmad, to guide us through the closing of today's lecture. Ms. Shadin and Mr. Ahmad, over to you.
Ladies and gentlemen, We finally come to the end of this plenary session. I'd like to thank the guest speaker for the insightful and interesting presentation about function of management. Everyone, let's take a moment to express our gratitude to our fantastic guest speaker. Your insights were truly enlightening, and we appreciate you being here, Professor. Please give a round of applause to show our thanks. Thank you so much.
We also thank the moderator and committees who have organized this wonderful event. Next, as a token of our gratitude to the moderator and to conclude our formal session, we will have two main items. To join both the session and the symbolic certificate presentation to the moderator. To the committee, please assist with the documentation. Yeah. Okay, the documentation will be taken in 1, 2, 3. Please give a round of applause for our moderator for this session.
Okay, thank you so much for Master of Ceremony today. I will appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Before the last session, next session is the group photo session. Let's document this successful event with a screenshot. I invite all participants to show their brightest smile. Okay, everyone, show their brightest smile. We'll take it 1, 2, 3. Thank you for sharing your beautiful smile with us. We will now proceed to the next session.
Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to confirm your participation by filling the attendance form. Okay, that's the wrap of this event. Let's close our event by saying basmalah together. Alhamdulillah together. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Sabar, satu, dua. I'm Raisya Dina Jeliska Atala,
And I'm Ahmad Nopal Fadil Makram,
serving as the Master of Ceremony. If we have made mistakes or caused events during this event, we sincerely ask for your forgiveness.
See you on the next event.
Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.